Hi, Patricia here with the eighth episode of Let's Talk Anything and Everything. Before I dive into this episode and what it entails, I know an apology is due. I haven't dropped any episode in the past 3 weeks. I'd say 2.5, but let's just say 3 weeks, and I know an apology is due. So I would like to start by saying sorry. I hadn't been feeling too good. Yeah. So anyway, I hope you guys are good. And to those who are not okay, it will get better. I may not know what you're going through. Maybe it's hardship, maybe it's sorrow, maybe it's depression or anxiety, but things get better with time. And to those who are good and you're having it nicely and life is good, you're where you want to be, I am proud of you, and I pray that you may continue saying your gratitude or saying thanks, being grateful, and enjoying it because you deserve it. We are on the second last episode for this season, and it's called, I'm not going, let me not say the name first. It's something that I think we are all navigating: opinions and boundaries. See, thing is, we are wired to process, we are wired to assess and to interpret the world around us. And that's not a bad thing, it truly isn't. But when these opinions begin to cross into someone else's personal space, that's when we need to talk about boundaries. Or when they start to feel like demands and expectations, that's when we need to get those boundaries up. This conversation isn't about shutting people out, it's about knowing what's ours, what's not, and how we choose to protect the spaces that matter most: our truth, our growth, and our peace. So, let's dive into segment one: the weight of uninvited opinions. There's something uniquely exhausting about being constantly told who you should be, or how you should act, or what choices are right for you, especially if those voices come from the people you love or people who don't even know you or you barely know. Some are well meaning, yeah, but some of these voices also come from people who are wounded. Opinions are easy to give. What's harder is learning to filter through them, learning to listen without absorbing, to honor your own voice amidst the noise. See, you don't need to become a version of yourself in order to survive people's comfort. Let that sink in. You don't need to argue with every perspective. What you need is space for you to decide what's good for you. You don't need to prove that your choices are valid. Mm-mm. Which brings us to the purpose of boundaries. See, boundaries are not walls, they are invitations. Invitations for people to meet us in a space of mutual respect and understanding. Boundaries sound like, I can't have this conversation right now, or I don't want to talk about this right now. I need time to process before I respond. And they are not meant to push people away. It's because we want to protect what we're building inside. You want to protect your healing, You want to protect your mental health. You want to protect your clarity and just your wholeness in general. And people are free to debate this. You guys are all free to debate this in the comment section, because this is about opinions, right? And if you have a contrary perspective, then feel free to share with me in the comment section, because you all can't agree on one thing. But share them respectfully, yeah? Don't come for my neck. I'm just a baby. I think boundaries teach people how to love us better. That's just what I think. I think it's like meeting someone at their point of need, sort of thing. It teaches someone how to love you like you want to be loved, how to relate to you, how you want to be related to, how to, you guys know what I mean. That's just what I think. Feel free to share what you think. And by boundaries, I mean healthy boundaries. Please allow me to be very clear here. Healthy boundaries. I'm not teaching anyone to be an a-hole and then justify by saying you're setting boundaries, anga this, anga that. But all in actuality, what you're doing is just being a huge a-hole to other people. That's not what I'm communicating here. Now that that's out of the way, what happens when these boundaries are resisted? Because it happens, not everyone will be comfortable with you saying no. Obviously, there's pushbacks. And that's one of the hardest parts about boundary setting, the resistance that come with it. Because people don't know how to respond to this version of you. They're used to that person who never had them. And it's usually met with confusion and at times even anger. And all the while uncomfortable, these reactions don't necessarily mean you are wrong, or they don't mean that you are doing something wrong. Those who can't say no, I know many of us are not comfortable, especially people pleasers, and in one way or the next, we are all people pleasers to different degrees, agreeably, but to a certain extent, we are all people pleasers. So when you start saying no, especially as a people pleaser, people start thinking that you are a bad person, or there's this negativity radiating from you. It does not mean you're bad. It just means that your growth is not convenience. It's not convenient, rather, to others. And that's okay. So I am going to read this part out for you guys. Your job is not to make people comfortable with your healing. Your job is to keep choosing it. Because reducing yourself to the safest, smallest expression of you, of yourself, isn't love or loyalty. And I am just going to be the person to say, tradition wise, boundaries are seen as disrespectful, especially when they go against age or tradition in itself or hierarchy. Like maybe when you say no to an aunt, or when you say no to so and so, I don't know, it's confused with the absence of respect. And I know we have to be respectful to our elders. I am not disputing that. What I'm saying is that at times just choosing you and being like, no, no, I can't do this because I don't want to do this, is seen as disrespectful. And I feel like that's bullying someone into respect. Albeit important, teaching respect should not come as a form of bullying it into someone, to a point where if they choose their sanity, then you label them as disrespectful. Respect is not submission. It is not the absence of self. There's a way to honor where you come from and still honor who you are becoming. That line is it's very delicate, but it's yours to walk. Okay? And it's okay to walk it slowly, to walk it carefully, And sometimes it's okay to walk it with quiet courage. I don't know if you guys get this. I hope you are. Anyway, what are my final thoughts on this? Again, my thoughts, not yours. You are free to share yours in the comment section. Yeah? Mindful. Be very mindful. My 2 cents is the more we grow, the more we realize that we can't live based on other people's opinions. And we also can't expect others to understand the boundaries that we set. And that's okay. Totally understandable. But you are not required to shrink in order to make someone else comfortable. Let that sink. You are not obligated to entertain every opinion. And certain boundaries, healthy boundaries, need I say, is not about being unkind. Is it did I say or is it dare I say? My intrusive thoughts can't let me win with that one. It's dare I say. Yeah. Setting healthy boundaries is not about being ruthless or being, I don't know, rude. No. It's about being clear. Because you need to protect your own space, your own voice. And just because someone has access to you doesn't mean they have authority over you. I read somewhere, it was a quote rather, by Marcus Aurelius. And it said that we love ourselves more than everyone else. We love ourselves more than other people, but we care more about their opinion than our own. And it's true. But you don't need everyone's approval. You just need alignment with your truth. So, what's your truth? We spend too much time worrying about what others think of us, yet we are born alone and we die alone. Okay? While that one is sinking, let me sip some tea. When I come back from these little hiccups, setbacks here and there, I come back with bangers, hot stuff. Anyway, everything else in the middle, like I said, we're born alone and we die alone. Everything else in the middle is just that. It's everything else. But also, let me say and remind you for the millionth time that you are free to share your opinion with me. You can DM me, you can comment. I gladly read all of them. Good, bad, ugly, amazing. I read all of them. And with that, I'm going to give you guys my closing remark. I want to thank you for being here this far, hearing me like go on and on about all this. If you've been here from episode 1 all the way to episode 8, thank you. And if this episode resonated with you, I hope you'll take a minute to sit with it. If you know someone who's walking a similar journey, I hope you can share it with them. And most importantly, give yourself space. Grow at your own pace and refuse to measure your worth by how easy you are to tolerate. I'm going to repeat that for you guys. Refuse to measure your worth by how easy you are to tolerate. Let it cost you your proximity, let it cost you your history, because it's never going to cost you your future. Okay? And I am going to finally say that what people think of you is not your burden to carry. So, until next time, which is the final episode of season 1, yo, I'm going to say ciao ciao.